What up, people? This is Botelho from streaming. This is actually streaming right now. I am streaming on the purple website. You guys know what I'm talking about. And I'm streaming here. And I came up and I did this. You see, units to grind on Dokkan and a wheel. What is this? One thing that if you guys know me, I am terrible at grinding. What is that? Does that mean? I have a lot of units that are like in the back of my account, like right here in the bottom of my account, that can be grindable. That are actually pretty good units that I can add them here and grind them here. But I never truly grinded them. Never grinded them because maybe when I got them, they were not good and they didn't have the easy A, and then they later got the easy A's. What happens is a lot of why am I doing this is because it ends up that sometimes I go and run a category. I want to run a team, and sometimes I have a bunch of characters that are like TUR 100, level 100. I'm like, I cannot run this unit here because they're too weak. And then even though they are kind of runnable depending on the situation, of course, on easy A's and super battle world, extreme super battle world, sometimes they're runnable. So that's what I'm doing. But I'm not gonna explain a lot. I'm gonna explain after when I start to grind. Let's go click here to see what character of today. This is episode number 1 of me actually grinding. I already grinded a couple of units, but here's the first actual video that I'm actually gonna post on YouTube of me grinding. I'm just gonna click here and it's gonna pop a character. Let's see. Drum roll. Let's see. What do we got? AGL Super Saiyan Goku first SSR. Oh, I know what this is. God damn, this unit is old as fuck. This unit is old. Super class. Let me see. He's Pure Saiyan. Yes, click on everything else. Pure Saiyan. Super Saiyans, and this guy. We're talking about this guy, the first SSR ever created, because there are a couple of other ones, but this is one of the first SRs you can ever get in the game. So I'm just gonna click remove, and we are about to go on the grind. Let's go. Hey guys, while I'm here grinding on the auto, I'm actually gonna explain why in the first place I'm doing this. Why are you doing this crazy wheel here, right here for you guys? Which, by the way, I just a little update. It's 324 now instead of being 323 before. Here is the reason. The true reason is that a lot of times I find myself playing certain categories, and I have like a lot of units in the back end, and they are not that useful. And if you guys know me, I'm terrible at grinding. Like, if you guys know from me from streaming, you know that I'm terrible at grinding. So since I'm terrible and I am lazy to grind this, I don't grind it. So I am making myself actually go for it and actually grind these units in order for them to actually be runnable. For example, one of the units that I grinded recently that I didn't record it, but was the Android 16, the Tech Android 16. That it's actually it's a pretty good character. Like, I can run him. He's actually a character that I can run, and I actually ran him on a easy A for a Android's team. Androids is pretty weak, and he was better pre-easy A. Okay, just be clear, pre-easy A Android 17, MVP 17. So like he's actually a pretty good unit that I can run on easy A's and maybe super battle road, extreme super battle road, that I sometimes don't have the best options and the stuff like that. So maybe a old option, a easy A or something like that would be actually a good option to run them, or even improving my 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 account a lot, especially for example on Battlefield, which is a mode that I kind of struggles a bit to actually be able to complete everything the same way. So if I am struggling, I should do this. But you know, me being me, I am always lazy. I'm always not doing it. I finally, I finally gave the actual idea to do it. So I was like, why not making a wheel of all these characters, and instead of like, oh, I have to grind all of these characters and have like this panic thing. So me, my brain, I said, you know what? I'm gonna separate them, and I'm actually gonna make kind of a game, right? And that's why I created the wheel, right? That's why I created the wheel, and that's why I'm playing the game, right, with this, the way I'm playing, because, well, it is what it is, right? Also, one big thing that I am trying to advocate, and you guys can actually help and put on the comments what do you guys think, what should the name of it. But on Grand Cross, for example, it's another gacha game that I came from. We have something called CC. What is, like, it's a number that represents how strong, at least on numbers, a certain unit is. It doesn't determine if it is the strongest. If you have the strongest CC in the game, doesn't mean that you're the strongest character in the game, but it determines that you're in a range, a different range. If you have a really high CC, that means you're one of the best units in the game. Just pretty much it, because you have that high number, right? Sometimes you don't have the best unique, which would be the passive, but it is pretty good. And also you have an account CC, which is the number for all of your characters CC added up together, and that's your account number. The CC counted in Grand Cross is HP, attack, and defense added all together divided by 3, which we have here on Dokkan. We also have at HP, attack, and defense. So we can actually, Dokkan can actually make this, and I believe that would be actually pretty good, which would be actually pretty amazing. But on Grand Cross, there's actually a pretty impactful thing. It's not just a number that is there. Also, there's some buffs. The higher, at some point, you start getting buffs for account CC, and the higher you go, the more buff you get. I don't want the buff. I don't care about the buff. But what actually makes is that it makes you grind these really weak units that you may never actually run them, so that you can have a really high CC, right? So you always are grinding that, and it also giving you motivation to grind. But the thing is, and I think this is the best, it is a show off card. It's a show off coin. Saying, you go to your friends that also play Dokkan and say, what's your CC number of Dokkan? And the person say, oh, mine is 1 million. And you say, ha, weak, mine is 2 million. Like, it's just funny. It's just fun things. Fun things you can do with your friends. Fun things you can do on your with your friends, and also fun things you can do to show on social media, or to talk on Twitter, or even to see on your friends list who has the best CC, which I actually would prefer to be, instead of being the same name, let's call it a score number, SN, right? Score or strength number. Strength number being as n being the actual number that would represent how strong your account is, which also will bring good things to see. Oh, on your or on EZAs, on stuff like that that you can see other people's team, you can see like in kind of the average because of that number, you can kind of see, oh, this character is 55, oh, this character is 69, oh, this character is something. You don't need to show the character CC or anything like that I said about the teams and stuff like that. You don't need that. Just show the number in the actual in your actual character list. It will be amazing, literally amazing, because you just go in there and you just hold in, you just like, okay, this is the amount of stuff, oh, this is the amount of the all edited attack that I have, all edited defense, and all edited HP, which is actually something that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Dokkan has something around that, but it's not shown to us. I just want to see it. But the thing is, it will also benefit a lot for being a whale, right? So whales will be way higher numbers and stuff like that. Also, free-to-play players will not have that much advantage, but will also make you have to grind all of these units, all of these really, really, really weak units that you don't ever use them, but just to grind them at to the maximum level, and then actually have a reason for them to grind it in order to have a really high number. It may be really fancy, may be really stupid, but it's something that it motivates people and motivates humans to do something, because we humans like to see numbers go up and down, up and down, up and down. We like numbers. We like seeing numbers, even though you may hate math, but we like seeing the numbers changing, especially on a table or anything like that. We like that. So because we humans like to see the numbers and see the numbers moving, especially like in sports and stuff, we like to see the numbers. It would be interesting to see number in like a game like this. But you know how Dokkan is that anything that's improvement of quality of life, any type of changes like that, it takes years for them to do. For example, the thing that I'm doing right now, which is auto grinding these medals, is something that they added, what, 7 years later since the release? Something that we've been asking since like what, second anniversary, third anniversary, something like that, and they finally added. And what, we got this on the 7th anniversary. 7 years with all this, right? Also, like the same name update, and also one of these same name update, which helps a lot. Helps a lot. And I mean, at the time, I was not one of the biggest fans, but I'm gonna say to you, it kind of grew in my heart with the same name update, because it's so much better. But you know how long it took for us to receive that, right? We saw that. But like, for example, just doing those little small changes will improve sometimes your experience a lot, and just get you more hyped on doing, right, a lot of the things. And I believe that will motivate you to grind something, to actually go and grind. Of course, you don't need to be like that truth and grind every single unit, have a rainbow, TORs and SSR versions of the characters, link level 10, everything. Like, there's no need, okay? There's absolutely no need for that, okay? But I feel like it would be something interesting for it to add for us in order for us to start growing and stuff like that. And this And the wheel over there, if you never actually, so you'll never seen someone in YouTube or at all doing something like this. I am not bet that nobody done something like this, but you're a person that has a bunch of units li- died, buried underneath, like layers of stuff, like layers of trash, concrete, dirt, and you see the unit right there buried on your account. And you go and grind. That's the purpose of here. It's like to pull up some units. Sometimes you didn't even know that this unit, this AGL Super Saiyan Goku, one of the first SSRs that ever released, um, is actually actually they actually existed, and you may or may not have on your account. And if you may or may not have it on your account, you can go and check it up and like, what is unit is this and it will also will improve a lot of your account, at least in my experience. Maybe not every unit, but will improve somewhat on certain categories that are really low quantity of really low quantity of options that you have. And right now I'm rambling about. By the way, if you guys saw previously, there was a number. That number is for you guys to skip. So anyways, I'm gonna probably mark. Oh, if you guys don't want to see me explaining why am I doing this, just go and skip to this time. So for me to go and see it, what I'm gonna do is probably I'm gonna record me grinding, pulling up on the wheel a couple of units, and 1 or 2 units max per video, I feel like. And then I go record, then I go and post. I feel like that's pretty good content for you guys, and I feel like you guys gonna enjoy a lot of this content. This video is gonna be way longer than it should have been, because I'm not gonna show you me grinding. I may show where you should grind this unit if you ever actually encounter that you don't have this unit, and see if this unit is easy 8 or everything like that. I will actually go and give you an update, and also updating that wheel. Also, one thing that I want to add that I may actually do it, is that just do the grinding, this grinding wheel. At one point this wheel will end. It will take a long time because it's 324 units, but my idea is that after this I go and grind all free to play characters possible to grind. Also also grind every single unit in my account link level 10, which is gonna be insane. I know it's gonna be insane because at this moment I only have a handful of characters. 100% have less than 20 characters link level 10 and full link level 10, and maybe, right? And then I will do like some calculations of how much time would you spend link leveling and level 10 a team, entire team, from 1 to 10 and stuff like that. I feel like that's pretty good. That's actually pretty good. Another thing that I want to add to you guys, if you guys have any idea if you guys would enjoy having that big SR number, right? A number to see if your account is good or not. Put on the comments what the name you would give it to that number. Maybe we can come up with something that actually is pretty good. For now, I'm gonna keep up calling the strength number. So being SN. Okay, strength number SN. What do you guys think? That's one question that I give it to you guys. And if you guys want to join me at this challenge, you guys go and you can use the website of wheelofnames.com. It's in the description. You guys can go and actually go and make your own dock and wheel. It will take some time because it took me some time, and I did on a stream once. It took me a couple hours putting up because I had this many units, right? I had 324 units, which is insane amount of units that I have to grind, and for some reason it keeps adding up and going more and more and more. So if you guys think that it would be a great option for you guys and say, hey, this is actually pretty dope, go there and use it. It's free advertisement. I'm giving free advertisement. Yes, I'm doing it. I'm doing free advertisement for this, yes, because it's actually pretty helpful, especially if you're a person that do not grind. Wow, this Goku has an easy. So for example, me actually going Dock and Awakening them here the way I just did, I would actually go and show it to you. I would cut it, me pulling, showing where you would grind it. Then from there, I would go and show that the Dock and Awakening. Then showing, oh, this unit has an EZA. Okay, let me see. Oh, Awakening here. Wow, their EZA is by key. Extermination plan EZA. Oh, there is a kind of a free to play type what characters can I run? Ooh. Okay. I ran into a predicament. I cannot run that event because I have to grind other units in order for them to be actually runnable. So what I'm actually gonna do is that I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna add the same unit back, but now I'm gonna have to call a little different name. I may add or change it or substitute a different name because it end up the unit to be a little different. Oh, also I grinded them, right? Oh no, I didn't, because I couldn't grind their EZA. Yes. So whenever it end up that a unit is on by keys, what I'm gonna do is sometimes I'm gonna go and say, hey, I'm gonna just lock this unit up and just mark them again, because, and I'm gonna go and mark them again. TUR, so AGL TUR Super Saiyan Goku versus SSR. I feel like I will remember when I see that, and also I'm gonna eliminate this. And I'm adding him to here again, closing this, and I'm gonna pull up another unit. But for now, for this video, I feel like this is good enough. You saw that I ran into a predicament that I cannot really run their EZAs. But if it ends up like that, what I normally do, I just put back on the wheel and I pull up another unit that I can actually do it. If I get all of those other free-to-play characters that I have to grind, something that I have to grind is free-to-play characters. I may do a free-to-play character entire wheel, a brand new entire wheel of free-to-play characters, all possible free-to-play characters in the game. Even though I may have already grinded them, I may do it, and then I will take it and maybe send it to you guys on Discord. If you guys don't follow me on Discord, it's gonna be on the description, so keep up. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching me till this moment. See you guys tomorrow, or see you guys next time.